Dirtbags, what up? It's Thursday Night Football. I'm bringing you a week 4 matchups breakdown, as well as Pusty's predictions. We're going to go right on down the line, all 6 games, and we're going to take a look here, pick out a couple players that I'm highlighting on each team, and then I'm going to give you my official prediction. There's not really any dirt bowls this week. There's not 2 bad teams facing each other. It's either 2 really good teams, 2 middle of the pack teams, but it's very competitive matchups here. But the matchup of the week, based on standings, I would say is Logan versus Jason. We got only one Thursday night player in this matchup, Kenneth Walker going up against the Cardinals. Zach Charbonnet's back. I think Kenneth Walker's going to have a 20 burger tonight. That Dallas Sunday Night Football game, I don't know what to expect from that game. I think the Packers are going to be hyped up in Dallas. Micah Parsons returning. That's a tough one for me. I know that they're going to be playing from behind, but man, is Dak going to have time to throw? That offensive line is beat up right now. And even with CeeDee Lamb out, I expect Pickens to get targets, but I don't know how much is going to be there. And then you got Derrick Henry and Bucky Irving with 2 tough matchups against the run. KC's not as good as they have been, but you never know with KC, and also Derrick Henry's been struggling. I do expect Pearsall to have a good game and Kenneth Walker to have a good game. Quentin Johnson should tear it up as well. But this is a cush spot for Josh Jacobs on Jason's team right now. This is a blow-up spot. The Cowboys defense is absolutely garbage. I'm calling it. Jacobs is going to put up a 30 burger. Stamp that, buddy. Dobbins against Cincinnati. Devonta Smith against Tampa Bay. I'm actually thinking Jason's going to pull this one off. Logan's team is still good enough to beat the median. So at the end of the week, Logan will be 6-2, and Jason will also be 6-2. And based on points, we'll see where they're at in the standings. But that's my matchup of the week. Next up, we're going to go Shiny B versus Rome. What up, Rogue? And Rome is suffering through injuries right now. You know your team's in a bad spot when you have to start Kareem Hunt, and you have to start Kyle Pitts. Kyron against Indy, Montgomery against Cleveland. Josh Allen is playing New Orleans, though. He could get 50 points. The only thing I'm worried about with the Bills is that they're going to get up big and then pull their starters in the second half, like we just seen happen to New Orleans playing the Seahawks. But if that doesn't happen and it's somewhat of a game, Josh Allen can get 50 points, and that alone can win you a week. However, I'm not going to make my prediction based on that. Shiny B's got cush matchups right here. Saquon against Tampa, I think is a game where Saquon is going to come out and do what Saquon should be doing. Breece Hall, this is a bounce back game, Monday Night Football against Miami. I think he's going to tear them up. A.J. Brown is going to have a good game. I think Tyreek Hill is going to have a decent game. The Raiders suck, so Swift should have a good game. Yeah, I'm picking Shiny B to win this one. And Rome, sorry, but you're going to take an L on this one, buddy. Next up, we're going to go with the top dog in the league, Yami versus young Michael Myers over here. Michael's already placed himself on the couch. However, I do think he's going to have his best week of the season so far. I think he's going to break 100. B-John, I think, is going to have a good game. Scatterbert, I know they're playing the Chargers, but I think that team is going to be hyped. Scatabo's going to have a good game. This is McConkey's breakout game right here. This is a 20 burger for McConkey. Henderson's going to get some opportunities with Ramondre and Antonio Gibson fumbling the football. Question mark here on Xavier Worthy and Deebo Samuel. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is playing, and I also don't know how many reps Xavier Worthy's going to get. But I still think Mikey breaks 100. However, it's not enough, brother. You're going up against the fucking juggernaut of the league right now with A-Chain and Gibbs and Jackson and Adunze. They all have really good matchups. Even Quinshon Judkins has a decent matchup. And then Benson and Harrison, they play tonight. This is Benson's first game as a bell cow this year. This is just extra on the top for Jimmy. I think he's going to win based off of this top half of his lineup. And then, these guys might have a good game. Mikey, you break 100 for the first time this year, but it ain't enough, brother. Jimmy's going to stay holding down that number 1 seed. Next up, we got Jash versus Schmitty. And right now it's dead even projection for these guys, and they're both 3-3. Smitty's going to have to get carried by CMC. CMC's killing it right now. He's like top 15 receiver and a top 15 running back at this point. Smitty just lost James Conner, so he's gonna need Tony Pollard to step up. Unfortunately, they're at Houston, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Lions play Cleveland. Denzel Ward didn't practice. So if Denzel Ward doesn't play, I think Amon could have a good game. If Denzel Ward does play, it could be trouble for Amon-Ra. I don't really know if Smitty could pull this one off. Jackson Dart is starting for the Giants, and Josh, that means neighbors. Kamara at Buffalo, I think he's going to get a lot of catches here because they're going to be down. Brian Thomas, I think, is going to have a good game against the 49ers. 49ers DBs aren't good. They were getting cooked by Chris Olave. Brian Thomas is not Chris Olave, but he's super fast, and I think this is just a bounce back spot for him. Keenan Allen's going to serve. I got Josh winning this one. Don't know about the median, but I got Josh getting the dub. Let's do me and Sibo. This is the commissioner versus the defending champion Cycles. 3-3 versus 1-5. It's looking rough for Sibo. We got a couple players playing tonight. I'm starting Torrey Horton. That's how you know I'm down bad. I got to start fucking Torrey Horton. Who the fuck is that guy? No, but his route participation has increased every week. If it's a close game, I think he's going to be playing a lot tonight. Hopefully he scores. Arizona's DBs are beat. Cycles will be playing Trey McBride. I think Trey McBride's going to score tonight. I just have a feeling. It's a Sibo thing to do. He might even score twice. I got tough matchup with Jamar Chase at Denver. We'll see how it goes. Denver just got cooked. Maybe Browning can pull something out of his ass. Just one deep ball to Chase in the end zone would be nice. But I got James Cook against New Orleans. That's an eruption spot. Caleb, that's an eruption spot against the Raiders. And then Hampton, he's about to be the bell cow against the Giants. I think that's an eruption spot. I hope Christian Gonzalez doesn't play for T-Mac because that could be good for me as well. Devontae Adams didn't practice today. Now, veterans don't practice on Wednesdays typically. Thursday with a hamstring? Probably not good. Chase Brown sucks. Jordan Mason should have a game. I think that's no matter what. I don't believe in Patrick Mahomes right now. I also don't believe in Drake London and the Commanders. But it's entirely possible London can have a good game. They're just not using him the way that they used him last year in the slot. Egbuka, this is an eruption spot for Egbuka. There's no Mike Evans. Who knows how healthy Chris Godwin is. Egbuka City. But I don't think it's going to be enough, Sibo. I think I beat you for the first time in a couple seasons. So fuck off, Cycles. Your team sucks. Lastly, we got Tommy versus Travis. Trav has the #1 player in fantasy football right now in Jonathan Taylor. But Tommy's got the #1 wide receiver in fantasy football in Puka Nacua going up against Indy. I know that Tommy's team is good and it's been performing well, and you can see he's got a lot of name value on his roster here. I think this one's going to be close, though. I'm going to give the edge to Tommy. I think Jettas has a game. I think Puka has a game. I think Jalen Hurts has a game. And I'm not too confident about much else, but I'm not too confident about much on Trav's team at this moment. JSN should have a great game tonight. I think he puts up 20. Jonathan Taylor, if he keeps doing what he's doing since going back to last year, I'm 30, 25, 25, 30, 30, 30. He could lean on Jonathan Taylor. I still don't think it's going to be enough. Not with Genty, not with Godwin and Jerry Jeudy. Too many question marks on Trav's team. I think Tommy gets the dub here. That's it for the matchups and the predictions. We got our first Freedom Funnel bet. Went down last night in Discord. Mikey and Josh, they got a Freedom Funnel bet. We're not betting money because no one pays, but people are going to chug that goddamn Freedom Funnel. This one's about Keenan Allen. Mikey said that Keenan Allen is going to finish outside the top 17, and Josh thinks Keenan Allen finishes inside the top 17. Hopefully we can get these Freedom Funnel bets paid off at the Fantasy Championship. I'm hoping to have a barbecue, or we can go to Buffalo Wild Wings, Josh's house, Rome's house, Logan's house, shit, anybody's house, Shawnee B's house. Doesn't matter. Trav will be out of town, so it can't be Trav's house. But hopefully we can get the Freedom Funnel bets going and paid off. Hopefully we see some trades. Yeah, that's it for the weekly matchups and predictions. At the end of the day, all your fucking teams suck, buddy.